It's time to quiet the noise and drop in. By the end of Gemini season, we see a definite dynamic change going on here. The first 2 weeks of June are boom, 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 boom. So much is happening. It is loud, it is energized. A lot is changing and developing at that time. But once we get to the end of Gemini season, there's a definite tonal shift and a softness that comes in. And right now, I'm primarily looking at Venus and Mercury. Venus and Mercury on the 16th of June are going to come into a really nice square with Neptune. And what's happening with Neptune right now is that Neptune is at the critical degree, 29 degrees of Pisces. And what this seems to conjure for me in terms of imagery is just compassion, like the need to feel something, the need to acknowledge our interconnectedness, the need to do something about the world, about the issues that impact us as a human species as a whole. And Neptune at 29 degrees, there's like an urgency to come together. There's an urgency to do something. And it's something that I've been seeing a lot of already. But yeah, Neptune's going to be hanging out a lot at this 29 degrees because it's going to station there in early July at 29 degrees. So we're really feeling this sense of overwhelm that things are wrong and we need to open our hearts and come together. So what we have is Mercury and Venus kind of drawing attention to this Neptune and saying like, yeah, like especially that Venus square to Neptune is just like, come on, like notice. There's a major like heart activation here and a need like it's just too hard to bear. I need to elevate above it somehow. So how can I be the change or how can I temporarily escape? Like Neptune and Venus together are really good for putting us on a cloud, elevating us, helping us to connect with our sense of bliss. And sometimes there's a transcendent component there where it's just like, I need to check out, I need to escape for a little bit so that I can keep up with the demands of my life. Because we all are human. We all are living in a time when we're all faced with different difficulties. And it's part of being human. Like we're all going through it in some private way. And that Venus Neptune says like, I just want to not think about it for a couple days so that I can go back to dealing with it. Like that's what Saturn's for. Saturn helps us face and address and solve, but Neptune is like, let's take a vacation from that. But it's also really major for elevating our compassion and feeling empathy for others and for situations. So that aspect is going on there. Again, Mercury is also there saying, like, yeah, I don't want to think about that. I don't have the capacity. I'm at capacity. I'm tired. Mercury square Neptune can definitely bring on the brain fog. And so it kind of forces us to retreat. It forces us to wander. So this is like a major combination that is encouraging us to wander, to discover, to elevate, to dream, to imagine, to kind of just like check out and bliss out for a moment. But then here's what's interesting is that Mercury and Venus hand in hand together are going to conjoin exactly at 0 degrees Cancer, which is the world point. It's a solstice degree. It's the world axis. It's where things that happen on this degree are heard around the world. Like there was something I want to say when Queen Elizabeth passed, there was like a similar thing that happened, and yeah, there's like a similar thing that happened with the world axis, if I remember. But anyways, there's just like something that's heard around the world. And when Mercury and Venus get together, it's like healing words. We're trying to alleviate. There's an apology of some kind. There's like a healing song or a healing prayer of some kind, like some kind of apology or tribute or something very poetic that is heard around the world. So this could be a really beautiful moment in a time that feels very wrought with tension. So look and see what this can be, because we're coming off of Neptune, which is like, we want peace, we don't want to feel pain, and coming onto the world axis, which is there's something to be said and received that is perhaps beautiful or healing. So that's something that we have to look forward to at the very end. That is going to happen on the 17th of June. And yeah, like there's also an immense level of creativity that can come from that combination too, like inspiration, artistically, spiritually, poetically. So look for that. That's a beautiful offering that's available to us. So let's talk for a moment here about these two planets moving into Cancer. So coming out of Gemini, which is like busy, 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 stimulation everywhere, now we kind of want to ground ourselves in Cancer. We want to spend time with our people, the people who feel like home. We want to get into our rituals and routines that feel very nurturing for us. Mercury in Gemini is noisy. There's a lot of mental chatter. But in Cancer, Mercury inspires us to feel, to listen to music, to listen to the water, to listen to the ocean. There's something very activating about being in like a moving meditation with Mercury in Cancer. I saw something about how like being next to water activates a part of your brain that allows us to be very present with the world around us, but also very engaged like with whatever it is that we're doing. So it kind of like expands our minds, like makes it more like helps us to our awareness to permeate different layers and still kind of maintain a sense of tranquility here. So I like to think about that with Mercury in Cancer, of being able to just like be more tranquil and to just like be with our environment. So yeah, listening skills, feeling skills, empathy, our emotional IQ. These are things that we can think about with Mercury in Cancer versus just the gobbling up of info in Gemini. Venus in Cancer brings in a very nurturing and protective energy. So we think about Venus in Cancer as like being like parental and caring and nurturing, but a lot of people forget the protective part of it. And so sometimes like the downside of Venus in Cancer can be like feeling excluded, for example, because you got to be in the family, you got to be in the group. So that's something that we're doing with Venus in Cancer, is we want to like connect with the people who we feel closest with, the people who we feel like home, the people who feel like they could be like our siblings almost. So yeah, Venus in Cancer, lovely, brings in a deeply caring kind of energy, and it calls in our support system, wherever that is. So this is the season to start nurturing ourselves, being receptive, caring. It's the time to like, we're not too busy to give hugs. Venus and Gemini, like, hi, bye. Venus and Cancer is like, let's have a meal, let's be together, let's be present, let's talk about the memories that we've made, and let's make some new ones right now. So that is Gemini season in a nutshell. I'm guessing that things look a lot different for you. I'm guessing the wild and dynamic energy of Gemini season is what's calling for this Cancerian shift of just like downshift. Let's chill out a little bit here. Let's enjoy. So anyways, I hope that these transits are ultimately good to you. And that was your astrology shot of the day. And I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also head on over to my website, catherineurban.com, where you can book your next astrology reading. We'll go into depth into your natal chart, your progressions, your profections, your solar return, your transits, and beyond. You can also join my mailing list where you can stay up to date with me on new classes as well as article drops. I look forward to connecting with you, and I'll see you next time.